Now, we start off with the Vase over the 2,400 metres, of course, and the field lines up with pile driver for William Muir, Chris Grassick and Martin Dwyer. Won the Coronation Cup at Epsom early in the season, and then his last start at Lingfield. Glory Vase, who won this race 2 years ago. Columbus County, who finished third in this race last year. Stay Foolish for Japan. Vincent Ho will be on board there. Mogul, who won the race last year, back to defend his crown. Reliable team. Bit of an upset winner in the Jockey Club Cup. Butterfield and a buyer for Alan de Roy Dupre, who may well be, well, it'll be certainly his final start here in Hong Kong, might be his final runner in a very illustrious training career. Good to slow, we're saying, Mark, in the early stages here, but reliable team, we assume he'll roll forward.
Absolutely. He did last time, of course, reliable team. That was in the Group 2 Jockey Club Cup, Paul, and he was able to steal that race in front. Unlikely he's going to get that sort of run again, even if it's a slow tempo. Can't imagine they're going to leave him alone as much this week.
No, I don't think they will. The French horse there, Byra, likes to go forward as well, and she can put on a bit of pressure. Pole Driver likes to be handy, and Stay Foolish is sort of a one-paced Japanese horse as well, who's been going well. So it's going to be a bit more pace, I think, than last time.
Yeah, and you've got Mogul setting back towards the tail of the field. So, all right, before we get into the runners themselves and have a look at some key races and hear from some of the participants, there's the Roll of Honour, Mark, the last 5 years, just the one Hong Kong win.
It is, and that was Exultant in 2018. Here in second, of course, last year behind Mogul. And Paul, we've got the 2019 champion back in Glory Vase taking on last year's winner, Mogul.
Yes, exactly. And Ryan Moore again here on Mogul as well. So look, they're two. They're going to be really good chances once again. Mogul's been a little bit disappointing on his form this season, but look, he loves it here, and I think he can bounce back as well.
Yeah, definitely the ground will be in his favour. Yeah. Ryan Moore's spoken very favourably about the conditions as well. All right, first up, let's hear though from pile drivers jockeys Martin Dwyer.
The horse feels fantastic. He looks great. He looks happy and healthy in his environment, which to me is more important than anything. He's come here a fit horse. He's had his prep run, came out with flying colours. And like I say, it's just really managing the horse this week. And, you know, he comes here a fit horse. And like you've already mentioned, he missed the sort of back end of the summer season at home, which was really frustrating at the time. But sometimes these things are meant to be. And he comes into the winter campaign a fresh horse. And I think he's put weight on and looks better than ever. And so it's just great to be in Hong Kong and come for one of these races with a real life chance. Can't underestimate anything in these Group 1 races. That, you know, you've got world class horses, so it's not a cakewalk by any means. But we are very confident because we're going in with a very good horse, and he seems to be in a great place at this moment in time. And I think he's peaking, and that's the one advantage we've got. He's coming to where he's peaking physically, and he hasn't had a hard campaign. So fingers crossed. But we've got to be very confident, but you've got to respect all as well.
There he goes, Martin Dwyer. Speaking about pile driver, the obvious thing watching that Coronation Cup win there was the ground. It was much softer that day.
Absolutely. It's down as good to slow in the form line, but there was no way it was on the good side, the amount of muck they were throwing up. They worked him again this morning, Paul. He worked over 400 metres on Saturday morning in 33.6, so they've certainly kept him ticking over.
They have, and you could see in that race, he loves to scrap this horse, doesn't he? He was headed, I'm sure, in that Coronation Cup, and he fought back and won nicely. So if it is a really sort of a door finish, he's going to be right there.
Yeah, William Muir did say this week though as well, the ground's not a concern. He's won on a hard track as a 2-year-old. So that's pile driver. Here's last year's race. Poor Mogul, just way too good for his rivals here. But Columbus County was credible in third. Yeah,
look, he ran on nicely enough, and you could see once he got into the clear here, Mogul, he just stretched out and won really nicely. He's had a few runs since then. He's had 4 runs this season. He's been placed on one of those races, but just a little bit below par. But he's coming back here to Hong Kong, and he seems to have really enjoyed it. And all the 3 O'Brien horses have arrived in good order.
Yeah, they have indeed. And you said it, Andrew, the confidence from Ryan Moore in an interview during the week saw me bumping up a few selection places as well, because he was very, very confident about the horse going back to back.
Absolutely, yeah. The track, the conditions suit him perfectly. Glory Vase, Mark, and Stay Foolish. What do we think of these ones?
Got to both be considered. Every time the Japanese come here, you need to consider them each and every time. Glory Vase did win it in 2019. Joe Moreira gets back aboard on the horse. He rode him to victory in 2019. And Stay Foolish, Paul. Draws barrier number 4. It's a good pickup right here for Vincent Ho. Comes out of this 4th in the Fukushima Kinnan behind Panther Lassa. Look, you can never discount the Japanese, can you?
No, I don't mind this horse. He doesn't win out of turn, but he's won a couple of races. They've both been on the sort of going he's going to get. He's arrived in good order, and I've liked his work. So, look, you know, he's going to be a bit of a price too, because he's probably the one just outside the square.
OK, all right. His reliable team in Columbus County, the Jockey Club Cup. Just a great ride this day, Paul, to nick it from the front.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to get this again, though. They're not going to leave him alone like he did here. And he, you know, as you say, he did nick it he stole it from the front. Columbus County ran on nicely enough, but I just think the international horses look strong this year.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. Reliable team. He won't mind the step up in trip. He has had one go at the 1.5 miles, and he did place in a group race over 2,400 metres. Columbus County just peaked on his runner touch there, but I think the internationals will hold them.
OK, the rest of that field running the race, except for Savvy 9, actually ran really well at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Butterfield's, Mark, I think he's got a chance of some prize money here.
He's going to run the trip, that is for sure. He draws barrier number 8, but with just the small field, he's unlikely to be unlucky in the run. Damien Lane sticking around to ride him for Denny Shum. He's yet to win anywhere above Group 3 in Hong Kong, Paul, and that was the Queen Mother Memorial. Look, he's not too far away, and he is going to get the trip, and he has proven at the trip in South America before arriving.
Yeah, look, the distance is going to suit him, as you mentioned, but I just don't know if he's up to with these internationals. That's what worries me.
OK, one more to have a look at. It is one of the internationals. Could well be the final runner, Paul, for Alain de Roy-Dupré. Yeah,
another one of these fairy tales. There could be a couple here on Sunday. And look, it was a nice enough run here. The horse got to the middle of the track and it stayed on. Well, it just faded over the last bit. Byra. They went forward this day. Sometimes she's gone back, sometimes she's gone forward. I think with this smallest field, she'll go forward once again. And she sort of just dropped out at the end, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Her work's been good since she's been here. A lot of it has been on the all-weather, or all of it's been on the all-weather throughout the week. Just wonder what the firm track's going to do to her.
Step up and trip will suit her though as well, up to the 2,400 metres, probably a bit more to her liking. So those of the 8 runners, Paul, we've got Glory Vase as our 1.8 favourite.
He come up pretty short, Glory Vase. So look, look, he has to go in. He's been here, done that before. I'm going to go the other Japanese though. We sometimes see the second, third tier Japanese horses that come here and perform really well. And I've just liked what I've seen with Stay Foolish, and Vincent Ho, local jockey aboard as well. So he's on top. Pole driver not far away though, and wouldn't be surprised if he won. Glory Vase and Mogul have won this before. 4, 1, 2 and 5.
Same 4 as Paul, just a different order. 2019 winner to beat the 2020 winner, Glory Vase over Mogul. Just buoyed by the interview with Ryan Moore about Mogul, thus he got pushed ahead of Pile Driver. He's in for 3rd in the 4 Stay Foolish. Just the respect factor for the Japanese horses when they come here for sure. 2, 5, 1 and 4.
1 and 2 for me in the Vase. Pile Driver, I think, can win this for Martin Tuai, but I do think Butterfield will run some sort of race as well. That's the Longines Hong Kong Vase. $20 million on table for that.